Hello, Greg from Balloon Market here, and welcome to BMTV. And we have Mark back from Qualatex. Mark, thank you for coming again.
Cheers, Greg.
Loving the new haircut, loving it. Anyway, today we're going to show you something that it's had a bit of a resurgence, and you could say it's actually a business in a box. It is, of course, the Super Stuffer. We've had a few people ask us about the Super Stuffer, a few questions, how to use it, and so we thought we'd show you. So, Mark, you've actually owned one of these before, haven't you?
I have, some years ago now.
In a previous life. So Mark is an absolute expert on how to use it. And,
Or was.
But I'm sure you're going to do a fine job, Mark. So we're going to find out a little bit more about the device, the tool, and what it can do. So what are we going to do today?
Well, essentially, we're going to do some gifts and different ideas for finished gifts of objects and things inside balloons. Okay. So first one I thought we'd do is my teddy. Not really my teddy, but...
Oh, it's not your teddy.
It says my teddy on
Oh,
there.
I thought it was your teddy that you take everywhere
We'll
with
do
you.
It's a girl present, I think, to start with.
All right.
Which is really cool. So we're going to use the machine to put this inside a balloon, and then we'll finish a gift with some other decoration pieces.
Okay, cool.
To do that, obviously we've got a Super Stuffer. If I quickly give us a quick walk around, there's the main lid, which there is some assembly required when you get it, but it is designed so it can be removed if you need to transport it. Never transport it with the lid on.
Okay.
Because that is where it actually creates its seal. It needs that seal to actually work.
It was not difficult to put together, by the way. The only thing that you put together is you put the lid onto the rest of the machine.
And then we have a skirt, which I'll explain later, and then a really important device that you're fascinated in.
I am, yeah. I want to know.
Our balloon stretching tool.
I want to know how that works. I'm intrigued. But yeah, okay, great.
First thing we need to do, do you mind turning that inside out for me?
Turn that inside out. I'll try and turn it inside out. There's probably a technique to turning a balloon inside out. There you go.
We're going to close our tool and we'll place the neck directly over the top. Okay, really important to push that all the way down before we start to stretch our balloon out. You can see that's now fully stretched.
See, if you tried that with your fingers, your fingers would go through, or you burst it, or something.
Likely, even with a Qualatex balloon, you're likely to actually break the balloon. Just stretching it out. But this doesn't damage a Qualatex balloon at all. We're using the 18-inch latex balloons that are specifically designed for this purpose.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we're going to drop that over the top of the aperture and make sure that the balloon is touching all the way around.
Okay.
And then essentially what I'm going to do is just let the grip go so that now the latex has pulled that in all the way underneath the tabs that hold it on.
Okay.
And then with one movement we're going to push down and hopefully all of the balloon will stay attached all the way around.
Wow, so clever. All right.
And then if you fully stretch that tool back out, you can remove that and it's done its job now.
So that's all on there, nice and tight. That's great.
And then we'll drop that the right way around so you can see the print. And this is where we're actually going to inflate the balloon. Essentially we're going to suck the air out, and that's going to create a vacuum and pull the balloon to the outside.
Okay.
So just a little button on the back. Do you hear the note change in the engine? As soon as that note's are there, then you've got a perfectly vacuumed out 18-inch balloon ready to go.
So strange to be able to put your hand in a balloon. Yeah, okay, brilliant.
And this is where our skirt comes in, because obviously the neck of the balloon is quite stretched and is vulnerable.
Okay.
So that just covers the neck, so anything we're putting inside won't actually damage the neck of the balloon.
So what sort of things do people put inside? We've obviously got a teddy bear today. What else can you put inside one of these?
Also, anything that will go through the aperture that won't actually damage the balloon. So people put in gift bags with an actual present inside. People put champagne bottles in. If you're putting a champagne bottle in, I'd recommend glue dotting it to the bottom of the balloon so it doesn't swing about because they're quite heavy. Balloons, I mean, they look fantastic with just lots of different balloons put in.
So
really cool.
Okay.
Anything you can dream up. I've actually heard of a sari once. Somebody actually packed a full sari in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
So today I've pre-inflated some 6-inch hearts.
Yeah.
And they're a little bit tight, but if you're very careful, they'll go through the neck. And it's up to you how much you embellish your gift. But I think it's, well, that one's very tight. There we go. I've also got a spiraled 160, which is quite cool, just to give a bit of rhythm and excitement to the design.
Yeah. Rhythm and excitement. Who knew you could do that with balloons?
And then we'll drop my teddy inside as well. And then once inside, you can move around the elements until you're really happy with the finished look of the gift. And of course, all the time, your balloon's staying nicely inflated. Now, one thing I have done is I've attached to the top of our teddy some monofilament nylon line.
Okay.
So I've done that just by pulling up the material and actually just poking it through, threading it. Sometimes with some materials you'd need a needle. Just thread that through, so that's attached.
Okay.
Always tell the recipient of the gift that there is nylon line attached
Yeah.
before you give it to children,
Yeah, absolutely.
because that should be removed.
So
Okay.
why have you done that?
What I want to do is use that as the method of keeping the main part of the gift secure and upright
Ah, I see. Okay. All right.
for when we complete the time process.
Yeah.
I've also pre-prepared a 260Q with the air taken out, as we've done many times before, because that's going to help me with the knot.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. If you've had any balloon seepage on the vacuum, a little press, and that will pull that all the way out, and then we can actually remove the neck of the balloon. Now, what's interesting, what's brilliant about the machine is the balloon's actually not sealed at the top. The vacuum is created much lower down,
So that's.
so that I'm still able
I just
to
expected
not
that to
deflate.
deflate. Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my teddy to the right position,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to twist the neck several times to create something that's easy to knot. Okay?
Yep.
And then, as I would normally do, I'm going to take my 260Q and hold it into the knot, wrap the neck around my fingers, and then use the 260Q to pull the last bit of the knot over to secure it.
Yeah. That looked quite hard, Mark.
It is tough. You're working in a cavity. It's a thick balloon because it's going to be a large balloon that's stretched out.
Yeah.
So if you're struggling, there is another way I can show you.
All right. Okay. Okay. Can you show us that with this one?
Yep. So essentially, at this point, you've still created the vacuum. So if you press, Greg, I'll let you do this. Press gently on the balloon at the side there. Go on, keep going. And you release the vacuum and it's finished.
It's so strange. And then the lid just comes up.
Yeah. So what I'm going to recommend you do is do the twists as we've normally done.
Yeah.
And then if you're struggling, hold on with one hand, release the pressure.
So this is if you haven't done the knot
You
already.
haven't done the knot yet. And then let the lid up, pass to the other hand, and drop down.
Okay.
And then do you remember our tying method for a deco bubble?
Yes. Yeah, where you go round and round and round.
So essentially at this point you've still got your 260Q that in your hands here. You can bind the neck
Yeah.
one way, hold it, stretch out again, remembering to do the stretch,
Because that seals it.
and then
better.
bind in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And then we can create a knot.
That seems a little more.
And I think some
little
people will
better.
find that a little bit easier.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, great.
Just remembering to bind really tightly.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Let's do something else, shall we?
So, should we do a graduation design?
Yes, let's do a graduation design. You've given me this 160Q. Do you want me to?
Yeah, if you can take the air out of that, that'd be fantastic. And then tie a knot at the end. Keep hold of that for when we're tying our balloon. Try and make this really exciting and colourful.
So these are these 260s or 160s?
These are 160s.
Okay.
Maybe one more.
Very colourful, very nice.
And then I need some cash.
Got any cash, Rob? No? Okay. All right. This is the last of my cash, Mark. You realise?
It really is.
It genuinely is.
So what we've got here, we've got one of our clip weights. I've just attached a spiral 160 there to try it. I've never done this design before, so this is all new.
Hey.
And it could be attached with a bit of monofilament line like we did with the It's a Girl Teddy.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we can drop this inside.
So that's quite nice. If you're not too sure what to buy somebody, which is generally the way I am, then you could just give some money and you're making a statement with the money or a display with the money.
Okay.
I quite like that.
So, and then we're going to tie that off to finish. So I'll take this
Okay.
off now.
So what are you going to do? You're going to keep this bit outside?
I'm going to try and keep that bit outside. I might want to put a little bit of a twist in there.
This is clever stuff.
Okay, for this method, I really will try the tying it out of the tying. So take the pressure off. Pass that through to my other hand. Thank you. And we'll just tie this off, making sure that it's quite stretched.
Yep.
To do the knot as normal.
Because as we've learned before, that gives us a tighter seal when the balloon sort of constricts back around the neck.
And then I think we'll finish that off later.
Okay, great.
Bye bye Greg's money.
Bye bye. Yeah, I will be getting that back. I will. Okay, Mark, so let's do another one.
Okay, should we do a more traditional one?
Yes, yeah. What's a traditional one?
Well, a traditional one would be in a pagoda box.
Okay, let's do that then.
Would you like to do one?
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I'll do the stretchy bit.
So I've already turned it inside out.
Okay, great.
There's your stretchy tool.
Let's see if I can do this. So just put that on as far down as I can, like that.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yep, stretch them
And
out.
then just stretch it out. Oh, it's quite a bit of tension there.
Yeah.
And then
so
I
when
just
we lay it on gently, but you want to be evenly flat, and what you're looking for is that it's touching all the way around before you gently release your grip.
Okay. I'll gently release the grip. I think that's there.
Fantastic.
And then I just do that pushing down in one quick movement, yeah?
Go.
Hey!
Perfect.
Is it all off? I've just got to open that up. Oh yeah, I was doing it the wrong way. There we are.
Fantastic.
And then we push this inside. So you know if I can do it, it's going to be easy. Right, now, should we press the button? It's plugged in. Simple.
And then we've pre-prepared some shred.
Okay.
This is compressed so much in the bag. You were quite surprised when you made it.
I was amazed at how much, because I think Mark took out about this much, and we just did this with it, and we got all that.
So we'll drop that in there.
So this is traditionally what people have done. They've put a bit of
Yeah.
shredded paper in the bottom and then just put a teddy in.
We have our teddy.
Okay.
Hello.
What? You want me to? Wait. Oh, sorry.
Just protect your neck.
Protect your neck, obviously. Push that in there. I've got hold of that. Oh.
Okay, so have a look at the front.
That's quite cute, sat down. It's not really in the middle though. What do you think? Something like that?
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, now because it's a smaller teddy, and the same with anything that's hanging there, what you're going to want to do is get this tension right.
Yeah.
When you've start your knot. So if you just take the neck off now, and before we tie the knot, we'll just make sure teddy's sitting in the right place.
Oh. This is scaring me ever so slightly, Mark. Is this all okay?
Yeah, it's all good.
Oh, of course, because it doesn't go down. I was thinking it was going to go down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic. So now that's where you get the tension right. A bit more tension, a little bit more. That's it, stop. And then you put a twist in the neck. Fantastic.
Oh, I've got that.
Would you like me to knot it?
Yeah, please. Lost it a bit. You know what I'm like with knots. I like that bit though.
Release the pressure. Take this out. We've actually no need for all of that now.
Yeah.
So if you're careful with your scissors, you can cut that off. Okay. Once the first knot's done, you can be relaxed then.
Say that again?
Once the first knot's done, you can be relaxed then.
Yeah.
And we'll finish that off in the pagoda box.
So Mark, what is this bit at the back? It looks like a cup or something.
So, this is a tube that's designed so that you can put other things into a different size balloon.
Oh. Okay, I didn't know it did that.
So essentially, the normal thing is a flower in a balloon, and that could be a fresh or a silk flower.
Really? Okay. All right, I'm intrigued. Intrigued.
So normally you'd use quite a large vial, which is a little plastic tube at the end.
Okay.
But I struggle to get them in the UK, and I don't know whether you'll have more joy. So I'm going to have to show you a technique of sealing it off, similar to sealing the balloon.
Okay.
But I've just got some silks here, but that could be full of water, and these could be fresh.
Real flowers, yeah. Okay.
And these go inside the tube.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, we've pre-tied off a 160Q.
Yeah.
I'm going to use a 15-inch heart. Just stretch the neck over the end.
So you don't need to use the stretchy tool thing.
Don't need to use a stretchy tool thing for that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to inflate and quite quickly tie off. So I'll try and do this all in one, because the air will release from the balloon
Okay. All right.
as I do this. So fingers crossed. And there
I think you've done all right with that, Mark.
we have, if I can just knock that off, there we have a flower in a balloon.
So if you had that bigger diameter vial, then as you pull the balloon off, that would affect
It would effectively just seal straight away.
Ah, right, I see, okay. So this is a bit more of a faff, but you can still do it with a smaller
It's
vial.
still possible to do.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you tie that nice and tight, then the balloon is sealed off.
Oh, that's lovely.
And you actually have that inside.
That's brilliant. That's really, really clever. Okay, let's now go and see how we're going to finish these off. That's brilliant. That is really clever, isn't it? So here we are with all the balloons that Mark had prepared earlier, and we talked about how we finish them off. So, Mark, how are we going to finish each one of these off? Obviously, we've got this one.
Well, this is yours, Greg. You're all finished in the Bacoda box.
Okay.
I think just a simple pull bow on top, a little bit of stretchy tape to secure it, or a
Here's
glue dot.
one we prepared earlier. So, I'm just going to put that on. Just like that, just
on
it
the
on
top.
So this is a pagoda box. This is where I've seen these sort of balloons before, these stuffed balloons. So you literally just put it into the pagoda box, don't you?
Yeah.
And add the bow for a bit of decoration on top. So that's really easy.
Great for displays. Sits on the shelf flat. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And then maybe flowers in a balloon.
Okay.
Remember in the last wedding session, you taught me how to do a bow?
I did, and if I remember rightly, you burst yours, didn't you? And mine was fine.
Well, we've just adapted the same idea with a little tube on the back, or a loop on the back, and I'm just going to slide in flowers to the back there. Make a nice finished gift.
That's really nice. Yeah, lovely.
Really easy?
That is really easy.
Fantastic. We'll drop that there.
I'll put that there.
And then we've got our other exciting designs. One thing that's a really good tip, if you've got the 9-inch Lomi dish,
Yeah.
I know you stock these. These are really secure for actually working and balloon shining.
Because I was wondering how you did, other than the box, I was wondering how you would actually display these and sell these, because you don't have to have these boxes. So if this is how you do it, you just put it on a Lomi dish or something like that.
And I've got another tip if you want to make that a little bit more exciting. Mm-hmm. I've got a 350Q with a couple of pinch twists.
Okay.
And I've tied a deflated or an uninflated 160Q to either side of it.
Okay.
So we can actually use this as a base to secure it.
Okay, all right. So you're going to show us that now?
So I'll put my pinch twist to the back, and essentially if you hold on to the top for me, Greg, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch up our 160 all the way to the top, and when we get to the top I'm literally just going to wrap that in to the knot.
Alright, cool.
So that then holds that nice and secure. And then we can finish the design off at the top.
Okay, let's do that.
I thought it'd be really cool to use a 14-inch air-filled, mini air-filled foil. I'm going to tie that straight in. I've heat sealed that obviously with a heat sealer.
Yeah.
And then roll tied the neck with a spare piece of 160. So we'll tie that in. I'm going to take away the excess in a minute, and then I've got some other 160Qs just made into a small cluster.
So what do you do? Just tie those together?
Just wrap those together and so that the centre is like a full balloon cluster, essentially. And then we'll drag those through the top. Cross them over. To make a fun finished
Always
character.
a bit.
And then I'm going to pull out all our excess. I'm just going to chop those off. Be careful with the scissors, obviously, now.
Yeah.
Because you're really
Lots of balloons.
close to balloons. Okay.
So that is leaning a bit. How would we stop that? Do you just have
So
to
essentially,
adjust
it's the
it?
weight of the money inside. So you just adjust it round until you get.
So you can just play with it until you
Just
get it
play
right.
with it till you get it right, and of course, he'll sit fine for you there.
That's really nice. Perfect.
Okay. We'll drop that to one side.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the same again with a rose pink and a bow.
So is that traditionally what you do with these? You decorate the top where the neck is, so you hide the neck.
Any added value is extra perceived value for your customers.
Yeah.
It just looks great.
Yeah.
So we'll drop this onto the top, and this is just a small 260Q flower, 6-petal flower. Again, I'll remove the excess. And then I can remove from there loamy dish. And again, Greg, if you don't mind, just hold on to the top. And this time, pull that to the front. That should hold that absolutely fine.
That's lovely.
But we're not quite finished there, because diamond clear latex will oxidise quite quickly in natural light. I recommend balloon shining to finish these.
Yeah, we've used that before. It's really good stuff, isn't it?
It's excellent. So essentially it comes with a really attractive glove.
Oh, suits you, sir. Suits you.
Sir. And what I'd recommend you do is actually spray onto the glove. Now, it's a silicone-based spray.
Yeah.
So just be careful of the floor surface that you're spraying on, and try not to spill any, because it will make a floor slippy if you're not careful.
Okay.
So you get your glove nice and wet, and then essentially you just polish. And when you first polish, you will see the actual fluid of the balloon shine.
So you put quite a bit on there.
I put quite a bit on the glove. I'm just going to polish that in. I know in some shops where they've got these balloons in a direct sunlight in the window, they'd actually polish their balloon and they'd leave it to dry slightly, and then they come back and they just give it another quick polish with the dryer.
So you basically just
glove.
polish it until it dries in.
Yep. And that protects the latex, and it actually keeps the balloon inflated for longer as well.
Oh, right, okay.
So once that's dry, your balloons will stay nice and shiny.
Perfect. So is that how long would that take to dry?
It dries in 30, 40 seconds. It starts to dry, and it'll continue to protect for some time.
So you can use balloon shine even when something's started to oxidise?
Exactly, yeah. So if it started to oxidise, or if I'd missed a spot and you see it, you can just drop the glove back on and shine it up again.
That's brilliant. Okay, well, Mark, thanks very much. Let me move that away. Thanks very much for showing this to us, showing us these techniques, and introducing us to the Super Stuffer.
Fantastic. I'll take this one home.
No, that's mine. Thanks very much for watching. See you next week. Bye. It's got water slides that sort of go down the back and underneath, and it's spectacular. It's got ice rinks. It's got a bar that's run by robots. It's got a zip line. It's just huge, and it goes from here in Southampton. So anyway, it got me thinking. Saw it on the news. Got me thinking holidays and stuff like that. So I thought I'd show you some of the holiday tropical style stuff. We do get asked quite often by people about that are just starting out in business what they should do. Do they have to register a name? Should they do this, do that? What would we recommend? It's a long time since we started. I've forgotten. So I just thought I'd ask you to share your thoughts on that. What are the key things you think people should do when they're first setting up their business?